I've been every year for maybe the past 10 years. And it's certainly the conference for people that are cozy lovers. If anybody listening has never been, I'd highly recommend they look into it. Malice Domestic. I'm going with my friend Linda Wickham, the Canadian writer. On our way home from that, we're stopping in, as we do every year, at the Mechanicsburg Mystery Bookstore on the Sunday afternoon. I think it's May the 3rd. We'll be there, and we always have a really great time. I am one of the guests of honors this year at When Words Collide, which is a multi-genre festival in Calgary, Alberta, and that's in August 11th, 12th, and 13th, I think. And I'm doing workshops, and I'm doing a lot at that. I'm doing a couple of workshops, panel presentations, doing a talk on my own, and that kind of stuff. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited about it. As I said, it's in Calgary, Alberta, so anybody who's on the West Coast might find that interesting. Beginning of September, there's Women Killing It in Prince Edward County, and I'm also planning to go to BoucherCon this year in October.
Well, we look forward to seeing you at Malice, and we'll have a drink together at the bar.
We definitely must do that. I think that can be arranged.
Can you give our listeners all of your contact information, because you have a lot going on and they need to keep up with you?
That would be just great. So the spelling of my name, I need to be careful with it. It's Bicki, and my last name is Delany, spelled Delany, not EY as is the norm. So my website is just VickiDelany.com. My email is Vicki@VickiDelany.com. I'm on Facebook as Eva Gates Author, because that's my pseudonym for one of my series. And I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Instagram as Vicki Delany, and I think I'm also on Twitter as Eva Gates Author, so I'd be more than happy to talk to people. I do have a newsletter that I send out quarterly, not monthly like some people do. And if anybody would like to get on the list to find out what's coming up, send me an email. I'd be happy to put them on my list. I have a little feature on my newsletter called Vicki's Book Club that seems to be popular, which I just talk about what books I've read lately that I think people might enjoy.
That's wonderful.
People seem to think that they like that. So yeah, I'm always eager to hear from people. So please go ahead.
Does the Women Killing It Festival have a website?
Women Killing It, it's kind of hard to find because there is a group called Women Killing It. But if they search for Women Killing It Authors Festival, they should come to Eventbrite, which is our main page, is our ticket page on Eventbrite. In fact, if they look for it, they will be able to find it, as long as they know that it's in Prince Edward County, Ontario. The main town is Picton, Ontario, and with a little bit of looking, they'll be able to find it. If anybody wants more information and can't find it, once again, Vicki@VickiDelany.com. They can drop me a line, and I'll send them the right way.
Wonderful. We will put that in our show notes so people can check you out.
I'd appreciate that very much.
Well, Vicki, we thank you very much for joining us today. It was great catching up with you. We look forward to seeing you at Malice Domestic.
I'm looking forward to it, too. So thank you so much for taking your time to talk to me.
Well, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
I will. Bye.
Vicki is a very prolific author. The books I have read were very well done. They're plotted very well, and her character development is very good. She takes a female and turns her into the female Sherlock Holmes in the bookstore series. She does a good job.
Well, we had the pleasure of meeting Vicki last year at Malice Domestic. It's just great to put a face to some of these books. And she says that she's not in there, but I think every author, part of them, their blood, sweat, and tears are in that book.
Oh, yes.
After meeting Vicki, I can't imagine anybody else writing those books.
Oh, I have read a few of the Sherlock Holmes Bookshop mysteries, and that's set in Cape Cod. I've also read a few of the Ashley Grant series, which is set in a Caribbean island. I did get the opportunity to see how Vicki writes in different locales, and I have to say she writes a great sense of place. You really get the feel for whatever locale she's writing in.
Yes, her descriptions are very well done.
We hope you take the time to go check Vicki out on her website. Also, definitely check out Women Killing It if you are a mystery author, especially in the area of Canada.
I hope we get the chance to travel up there. That sounds like fun.
So now we are at the point where we're going to do our up-and-coming book.
The first book, we have this week is Kidnap on Safari. It is written by Peter Riva. It is number 3 in his Umbono and Pero series. The wildlife safari team treks through East Africa on a rescue mission that pits them against Boko Haram in a thriller that will chain you to your seat. It is put out by Skyhorse Publications, and it came out January 21st.
Reese Bowen's new book, it's a standalone called Above the Bay of Angels, is due to come out February 11th. A single twist of fate puts a servant girl to work in Queen Victoria's royal kitchen, setting off a suspenseful historical mystery by the New York Times bestselling author of The Tuscan Child and The Victory Garden. And that is put out by Lake Union Publishing.
Next up, from best-selling author Charles Finch comes the third and final in a prequel trilogy to his lauded Charles Lennox series, The Last Passenger. London, 1855, a young and eager Charles Lennox faces his toughest case yet, a murder without a single clue. Slumped in a third-class car at Paddington Station is the body of a handsome young gentleman. He has no luggage, empty pockets, and no sign of identification on his person. And putting together the clues to the mystery of the man's identity only raises more questions. When Lennox discovers that the crime has a significant connection to America. And that is put out by Minotaur Books.
Can't wait for all of these. Charles Finch is one of my favorite historical, and Reese Bowen is always a favorite.
A story in Africa is something unique.
Yes, check your independent bookstore or your library and see if you can check these authors out.
It's trivia time!
Last week's question. Philip Marlowe was the hero in whose detective novels? A. Walter Mosley, B. Raymond Chandler, C. Tom Clancy, or D. F. Scott Fitzgerald? And the answer is B. Raymond Chandler.
Okay, for this week's trivia question, what was the name of the priest detective in G.K. Chesterton's short stories? A. Father Brown, B. Father Green, C. Father Black, or D. Father White? Good luck.
This is our 100th episode, so we thought we would share our favorite moments over these 100 episodes. Well, my favorite moment over these 100 episodes was last May when we had the honor of attending Malice Domestic as their guest. During one of the sessions on historical mysteries, the question was posed to the authors on stage to speak in the voice of their characters. Well, Carolyn Todd, who is the partner to Charles Todd, and they write under Charles Todd, channeled both of her characters, Ian Rutledge and Bess Crawford, and it blew us away. She became those characters for that 5-10 minutes on that stage, and I still would like to find the video of that, and if we can find it, we'll share it on our website. It was amazing.
My favorite moment would have to be the evening that we spent with our friend Roland Savage at his home, where we discussed the difference in literature between psychopaths and sociopaths. Sounds a little like a dry subject, but Roland was such a wonderful host. Maureen, his wife, we just thoroughly enjoyed our time with him. We are very sad that he is no longer with us.
One of my favorite moments was when we were able to attend a lecture on the refurbishing and how that took place of the Francis Glessner Lee nutshell galleries. And while we attended that, which was very interesting, the presenter said, well, would you like to go see them? And the crowd just said, yes, we would. And we had to travel to the Baltimore City Medical Examiner's office, which was a few blocks away from where we were. We were able to view the 18 surviving nutshell galleries in a small personal setting, which was just fascinating.
And we could spend all the time we needed to examine, try to solve the little mysteries.
And if you're not familiar with the Nutshell Galleries, there's a book hitting your bookshelves as we speak called 18 Tiny Deaths by Bruce Goldfarb. And it discusses Francis Glessner Lee and the Nutshell Galleries, and I highly recommend it. And we're going to have Bruce on our show very, very soon.
That brings us to the end of Milestone episode.
A centennial.
Who would have ever thought when we started this thing that we would be sitting here 100 episodes later? I hear the success rate for podcasts is only like 10%, and we've done it, ladies.
Yes.
And we're looking forward to the next 100 episodes.
And we're still growing slowly. So be sure and go to our website where you can see all the episodes that we've done, all 100. It'll give
The
you
good, bad, and the ugly.
And some were pretty ugly. We appreciate your listening. We really value our listeners. If you have any suggestions or comments, we would love to hear them. Our email is
darkandstormybookclub@gmail.com.
And remember,
life would be boring without a little mystery.
bye.